Hey everyone, thanks for coming back to my channel. My name is Radio Mike, and today I want to do something kind of different, which is where I walk through my complete collection of the base, fossil, and jungle sets of the original 3 sets of the Pokemon trading card game. I have been collecting these cards essentially since I was about 4 or 5 years old. I'm now 26. So this is a 20-year collection that I have finally completed, and I did this sort of over 2020 on my podcast, 20th Century Boy, where I asked listeners of my podcast to send in some of the cards that I needed, because after all these years of collecting, there were still some cards that I just never came across and never had, and over different periods of my life, I was trying to complete this collection because it was always like this little thing for me. And it all started, I guess, when I was really, really young and like Pokemon was all the rage. You know, the original Pokemon games came out when I was a very, very young boy, and me and my brother would always collect Pokemon cards. Our parents would buy them for us. They didn't really know, you know, anything about them or the value of them, but they just bought them for us because we really, really wanted them and we loved collecting them. At some point of our lives, we used to actually play the trading card game, which was really fun. And the cards have come a really, really long way now. And I don't know, I always just wanted to finish this original set. And now I'm starting to collect them. You know, when I see the official ones out, if I'm at a shop or something, I might just buy them. But finishing this first collection is really, really important to me, and I really wanted to just walk through it in a video today. So at the moment, I keep it in this ring binder folder, but I've been doing a little bit of research, and apparently this isn't the best place you can put them. Obviously, while I look at them, I'm going to have them on the side of the screen next to me, but for whatever reason, growing up, like, I don't think growing up we knew that there were different sets or anything. Like, we just knew that there were Pokemon cards, and a lot of the time after these original sets, like, I have a bunch of cards in this folder, and like, a lot of these cards are fake cards after the original set. For example, I'm just looking at some now. I don't know where we came across these cards, but like, take this card here from a later year of the collection, which is like an Archeops card. It has 13,000 HP. Which to me is a giveaway that is a fake card. So all these cards have HP in the thousands and their attacks do damage in the thousands. So I have a lot of fake cards, but all of these original set cards are real cards. And a lot of these cards have been in these plastic sleeves for their entire lives. So some of these cards have been in these sleeves untouched for probably about 20 years, which I think is really, really cool. And because we didn't really know that, well, we sort of knew that there were different sets, but we weren't really collecting them as sets. We were collecting them more so as, we wanted to fill the Pokedex. So these were always set out by us, me and my brother, in Pokedex order. Hence why this first page here is all the starter Pokemon, starting with Bulbasaur. And these 3 cards, the Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur, have definitely they're all 20-year-old cards. Like, they have all been sitting in this folder their entire lifetime. I really like those 3 cards. And then we had the Charmander and Charmeleon and Squirtle and Wartortle. We never actually had this proper Blastoise card. So this Blastoise card, I'm not sure where I came across this card. I think I did a trade with it with someone in 2015, and we had another card in this spot, which was the Dark Blastoise card, which I think was part of like a Team Rocket collection of cards. So we never had the OG Blastoise, ended up coming across that later in life, and I also never had this Charizard card, which is, you know, obviously one of the most valuable cards. It's in a sleeve, and this Charizard card, I came across from someone that I used to work with in retail, and they were willing to part ways with a lot of their Pokemon cards and knew that I was collecting them. So he gave me this Charizard card for a very low price because he was just kind of happy to give it away. Plus, this card itself isn't really in the best condition. Like, I'll do a close-up of it. There's a lot of like scratches on it and different things on it, and yeah, but it's in reasonable condition, and I really like it. I really like finally having this card. So that is a late addition to both the Blastoise and the Charizard are late additions to this collection. All of these cards here, the early bug type Pokemon and Pidgeotto, Pidgeot have all been in this collection for a very long time. I think the Kakuna and the Pidgeotto were uncommon and rare cards respectively, so I think we came across them later through trading with friends when we were really young, but I think the Pidgeot was one of the earliest shiny holo cards that we got from memory. Again, it's really cool just kind of looking through this folder and just, I love the artwork on the cards, and looking at this collection of cards just brings me so much nostalgia because I remember being really young and being taken to this card shop called Card Heaven, which I don't think exists anymore, but my dad used to take us there and buy us booster packs of Pokemon cards, and it was really, really cool. The Raichu card is another really rare one. It's a holo card, and it's in really good condition. I'm pretty sure, I don't remember, I may have got this card from the same person that gave me the Charizard card, who gave me a bunch of holo cards that they had. So that's in a sleeve. This is a really cool card, and until then, like, these spots, we had left these spots blank in this folder because we thought one day we would finish the collection, and I've done that. So that was, the Raichu was a really rare card, as well as the Nidoking card. So the Nidoking card, I think, again, was from this same person who sold me a bunch of cards for like $5 each. So that Nidoking card was a very late edition. We always had the Nidoqueen card, so that's been in this collection for a very long time. But the Nidoking card, very, very rare. Lots of people seem to have the Charizard, the Raichu, and the Nidoking. We just never got them, so we always really wanted them. And yeah, moving on with the collection. We see we've got Vulpix, Ninetales, Jigglypuff, Wigglytuff, and all that. Vileplume here, part of the jungle set, we originally just had in the non-holo version, the straight, like the non-rare version. I then bought the holo version off that same friend. He did help me a lot with finishing these cards. So the Dugtrio card, the 70 HP Dugtrio card, is a very long story. For whatever reason, we just never had the Dugtrio card. It is a rare card, but yeah, we never had the Dugtrio card. We did have a card called Dark Dugtrio. Again, I think that was part of the Team Rocket set that we must have got a pack of. So we never had this exact Dugtrio card. This was one that someone helped me out from my podcast that was a guy called Alex Sky who sent me that. But originally I had bought the card off eBay for like $2, but it actually wasn't one of the original cards. It was part of the reprint set that they did, where they made all the old cards viable for the card game. So I had to track down an OG version of that card. And additionally, this Psyduck card as part of the Fossil set, we definitely did have this card at one point, but I think it just got lost. I don't know why it wasn't in the pack. Like, I definitely remember having this card, but I had to again reach out for that card, and Alex Sky, who I mentioned for the Dugtrio, also helped out with that Psyduck card. The Poliwrath holo card that you see here, I bought in 2015 when I was on a card collecting spree. I bought that one off eBay, so that was delivered to me. We never had that Poliwrath card. I always really, really wanted it, so really glad that's a part of the collection now. Here we have 3 rare cards on this page. The Alakazam card, which we got very early on, so that's a card that's been in the collection for a very, very, very long time. And of course, the Marchamp holo card. Everybody had this Marchamp card. I would say that the Marchamp and the Gyarados cards were cards that everybody had in their set. I distinctly remember I think it must have been part of it must have been like the front card on one of the base sets. So everybody had this Marchamp card. And then Victory Bell was a card that came to me later. Again, I believe I bought this as a set on eBay in 2015 when I was doing that collection kind of thing. The Muck card, similar to the Vileplume card, we always had. We have a bunch of non-holo ones, so we had tons of doubles of the non-holo. Never had the holo, and I believe I picked up the holo from the same friend as the Vileplume, the Charizard, and the Nidoking cards. Again, very, very helpful. His name is Harrison. Thank you so much, Harrison, for helping me out with this. Moving along, there are actually 2 Haunter cards. There's the base set Haunter, and I think another Haunter that's holo in the Fossil and Jungle. I do have that card in the back of the collection as well, because it's in Pokédex order. I didn't want to double up. There's also another Raichu card that's, I think, part of the Jungle set, and I've got that in the back of the collection as well. This Gengar card came in the set with Alex Sky, who I mentioned before. This one is not in amazing condition. Like, there's a few creases and folds in it, but it's still really nice. The Gengar, again, was one of the rarest ones. It was mainly the Gengar, the Poliwrath, and the Victory Bell, and the Aerodactyl card that we just never got our hands on. So that's what motivated me to keep going with all of this and trying to complete the collection, I suppose. Always really loved the Cubone card. Cubone is one of my favorite Pokemon of all time, so I really, really love that Cubone card. This Hitmonchan card, again, we always had the Hitmonlee, never the Hitmonchan. This is in pretty bad condition. This is one of the oldest cards. I remember we traded this Hitmonchan. Me and my brother traded, I think, we had doubles of the Gyarados, I think. So we traded the Gyarados card with one of our family friends, Alex, when we were very young. He had the Hitmonchan card, so we traded him with this card. This card is pretty damaged. Like, there is a bit of damage to the card itself. Like, the cover, the foil underneath is actually showing. So not a great condition card, but a card for the collection nonetheless. The Mr. Mime Holo, another one where we had the non-holo, and then I later got a hold of the holo version of that card, which I really, really like. Only 40 HP on that. Poor Mr. Mime. Same goes for the Pinsir card. I think that came in from Harrison, the Charizard Nidoking kind of guy. And then here's our Gyarados card. Probably the other card, as I said, that everyone had. And this card, you can really see the wear and tear. It's really starting to fade. The holo effect is barely there, which is a shame because it's a very nice card. But I think it gives it, like, this card's very nostalgic for me. This is one of the first holo cards we ever had, and I really, really like it. It's very cool. The Jolteon card was, again, donated by a listener of the show. Always had the Vaporeon and the Flareon cards in holo. Never had the Jolteon card in holo, or at all, or non-holo. We had a light Jolteon card, I believe, which was really cool, but great to have the full set of the evolutions in the folder now. And of course, a couple more, including the Aerodactyl card. I believe I bought the Aerodactyl card off eBay last year in frustration because I really wanted to complete the set, so I think that's what happened. The Articuno card was sent over again in the pack by Alex Sky. I actually did a trade with Alex Sky where I sent him a bunch of my cards and he sent me his. And then here we have the Zapdos, which I think Alex Sky donated that as well. We always had the Moltres card, but before that we only had the promo cards for Zapdos and Articuno, which were movie promo cards as part of I think it was the second Pokemon movie, Pokemon 2000. There was promo cards for them. We had the Articuno and Zapdos promo, which I still have, and the Moltres card. And the last card of the collection was the Dragonite card, which was sent in by a guy called Redmond, aka Red, which I think that was really awesome because obviously the first Pokemon trainer in Pokemon Red and Blue was called Pokemon Trainer Red. I think that's really cool that his name was Red. That's a really cool little collection. That's in very good condition, and I love the rainbow holo effect it has. Then this Mewtwo card, which I don't remember how we came across this card, but this is probably in the worst condition of any card in the set. This is a very poor condition card that's very creased and falling apart. I do not remember for the life of me where we came across this card. I'm pretty sure we inherited this card from somebody else, maybe in a trade. I don't know why we traded for a card so bad. And then this promo Mew card as well. It is really cool, and I wanted to say thank you to everyone who has checked out my podcast, 20th Century Boy. There's a really cool community on that show, and I think that's shown by all the generous people who donated cards or traded cards with me and helped me to achieve a goal of mine that was like, yeah, a childish but fun dream that I really wanted to achieve, and now I've achieved it. I've got all the cards. I actually really like just opening it and looking at them and doing stuff like that where I remember the stories of how we got a lot of these cards is really cool to me. And I think I'm always going to cherish this collection. I want to actually get rid of there's in the rest of the sets, like I showed you, there's a lot of fake cards in there. So I actually want to figure out which of my cards are authentic and then keep collecting sets. I'm collecting the new sets. I'm buying a lot of cards now. It is really, really fun. So I'm hoping to continue collecting and continue doing videos on them here. But thank you so much for watching. You can subscribe to my channel, check out the podcast that I mentioned, and I do videos like this, pop culture videos, just generally speaking. So if you enjoy that, subscribe and a thumbs up and a comment on my other vids. Until next time, catch you later.
But I went to run my hand through your hair and I noticed you were attached to string. You were a puppet this whole time, you were attached to string.